Fortnite used to drop new LTMs every single week. Floor is Lava, Food Fight, 50v50, A Royale, but now they've basically disappeared. Since 2018, Fortnite LTMs have changed a lot. Fortnite decided in 2018 that they wanted to actually change the game. And by change the game, I mean they wanted to change from the classic modes like solos, duos and squads, and that they wanted to add LTMs. So Fortnite took it upon themselves to add a new game mode which was called 50v50. And basically in this mode, half of the lobby would go against the other half of the lobby, which was really unique because we have never really seen this in Battle Royales before. They eventually realised that these LTMs would be really good for the game, so they decided to add a lot more. And in just a few months they brought high explosives and you could only use explosive weapons, sneaky silencers which were only suppressed weapons. Then they brought back 50v50 because it was quite popular, sniper shootout, snipers only, and then solid gold which was just legendary weapons. And guys, by this point it just felt like Fortnite were bringing a new twist every single week. And trust me guys, LTMs weren't just fun, they were defining Fortnite back then. The end of Chapter 1 and the early start of Chapter 2 showed no signs of LTMs slowing down. Back then, Fortnite LTMs felt like a main part of the game and everyone was looking forward to them. And at this point, they were actually tying them to season themes. And this meant getting LTMs more frequently. And we actually had an insane amount of LTMs. And this was all in a very short time. Bare Bones, Close Encounters, Floor is Lava, Getaway, Ground Game, One Shot, Pickaxe Frenzy, Score Royale, Soaring Solos, Steady Storm, Blitz, Strategic Structures, Sword Fight, Tank Battle, Unvaulted, Wild West, Arsenal, Disco Domination, Food Fight, Endgame, Horde Rush, John Wick, and Slide. I actually remember coming home from school with my brothers and we looked straight on the game to see what was new. I remember playing like Food Fight and A Royale, they were so fun. And honestly, these modes just gave such good nostalgia and the memories. So yeah, comment down below what your favourite is, guys, I'd love to know. But yeah, there was something new every time you opened the game. But yeah, this was just a golden era for LTMs. We did see game modes in Chapter 2, but they started to slow down. Of course, we had game modes like Storm King, Marvel Knockout, Impossible Escape, Spy Games, Shockwave, Marvel Takedown, Tilted Taxi and Bodyguard. But around Chapter 3, we did see a change. And guys, when I say they were slowing down, I mean they completely vanished, basically. And guys, we have to remember we went from expecting a new LTM every single week to not having one at all. It felt at this point that Fortnite were pushing away LTMs to make room for the new creative maps. There was no new excitement or talk about the new LTMs that were going to come out because there was none coming out at this point. And yeah, at this point, it was just really rare to see any LTMs in the game because Fortnite just completely pushed them aside. All that weekly excitement we used to see was gone. So guys, basically Creative 2.0 was added then, and Fortnite basically saw this as an opportunity for creators to make the LTMs instead of them making them. But yeah, this didn't really work because we didn't see the chaos that Fortnite could create themselves. And we quickly learned that only Fortnite could really pull off LTMs. And throughout the next chapter, we only saw 2 LTMs, which was Solid Gold and Horde Rush. And yeah guys, this just really shows the decline we had in LTMs at this point. And at this point, Fortnite players actually shown their frustration. I found a few tweets made at this time and it's clear that people were very unhappy. Epic wants the community to do the job for them. I've played some pretty good creative maps, but nothing can come close to being considered an LTM. I miss the OG days of having rotating LTMs. Now the playlists are flooded with lame creative maps. So yeah, it was clear that many players were very unhappy with this change and just wanted their casual LTMs back. And Solid Gold stayed for most of the chapter, causing players to be burnt out of this mode. However, hope started to come back when Chapter 5 returned Floor is Lava. Would this bring back many LTMs? No guys, it was the complete opposite. The mode was removed just a few weeks after. We actually did receive another mode in Chapter 5 Season 4, which was of course a Marvel season, but I do think it failed to capture the magic of OG LTMs. And this mode actually only lasted a few weeks like Floor is Lava. And many players actually thought the loadouts were weaker than we saw in Chapter 2. With like the other superhero powers and how much stronger they were. And in Chapter 6, it does almost feel like Fortnite are trying to make a comeback with the LTMs. We saw the return of Getaway in Chapter 6 Season 2 to match the heist theme season. And obviously this season, Fortnite added Blitz. Not to be confused with the actual old Blitz we used to have, but it is very similar. And of course, this takes place on a really small island with fast gameplay, fast looting and stuff like that. And guys, when this first came out like a month ago, I think it was now, yeah, it just blew up in popularity. And yeah, guys, actually at one point it was more popular than Battle Royale. And yeah, this popularity just lasted for like a whole month. And it's still going now, it's doing really well and one of the most popular game modes. And I think it might be the second best, but yeah. But yeah, at the same time, guys, I feel like it might be marking an end for the LTMs. And the reason I say this is basically because I feel like they're almost keeping only the certain ones that reach a certain popularity. I feel like if they don't do well, they're going to get rid of them, and if they are doing well, they'll keep them in the game. Or we could see the trend we've been seeing for about 2 years now, which is basically just an LTM returning for about a few weeks and then getting removed, and we only really see them rarely. I almost feel like they want to keep LTMs in the past and just bring them back every now and again when they need them. And yeah, guys, we might only ever see the ones that succeed really well. Yeah, and back in the days, Floor is Lava was really popular, and I see why they brought that one back. Same with Getaway. Like, the other modes like Score Royale and maybe Slide we'll never see again. And that's mainly because they just like the game modes that do really well. Yeah, and unfortunately, some LTMs just aren't as popular as other ones. However, guys, we may actually see an increase in LTMs, and that's because they added 50v50 back into OG, and obviously that's another LTM, so maybe they are reviving LTMs slowly, but I don't know. And I guess that just leaves us with one question, and that is what will happen to LTMs in the future. I think the fact that they actually added Blitz Royale back is a really good sign, but again, you could look at that as a negative and think they could never come back because they just want to keep polished modes that do really well and not just LTMs coming back. And yeah, they could just leave the rest in the past and just keep the ones that do really well. And who knows, guys, maybe we will return to the golden age of LTMs, but I'm not really sure at this point. And this isn't me just saying that they're not going to return, because I definitely think they will. I just definitely think Fortnite are prioritising different modes, like more permanent modes than LTMs. And yeah, guys, I think Fortnite will keep moving on with making these permanent modes that do really well, and maybe just less focus on bringing back other LTMs that don't do well. But who knows, maybe they will come back. I guess we'll just have to find out.